Gold had a fantastic price action. As you can see, it has just been going up, right, during this phase. Then there was a huge move down. We have been able to capitalize on majority of it. Then we have been able to capitalize on majority of it. And last week, we were able to capture some of it as well. Why it is happening? Because as you can see, it is forming a pattern, and it has been following several patterns on the smaller time frames as well. So what can we expect? What has happened and what can we expect? Let's find out in this analysis. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining me here. My name is Vic. I'm the founder of Vikinsa Capital Management, and we are looking at gold XAUUSD. Okay, as I mentioned in the intro that we have these movements which have been going on, and if you are a swing trader, then this has been absolutely brilliant opportunity. So what actually has been happening? I've been actually sharing all of this in our Telegram channel, which is here. You are most welcome to join. This is Vikinsa FX. This is the only one that we have got. So here I share my analysis on various things like such as gold, commodities, oil, indices. This was the Nasdaq one, which worked out really nicely, and gold. And then we have our algo, which also helps us in analyzing the markets and also generating signals, which is called bot and research algo. So a lot of things are going on here, right? So you're most welcome to join here, and this is free, as I mentioned. This is Weekend FX. I've also been sharing the similar sort of things on Twitter as well. So you're most welcome to follow me there. I've been sharing each and every step, right? What I've been talking about, right? This is NZD USD, this is NZD USD, the trade that I took. This is my swing trade on gold, and similarly here there was movement to the downside, all of these things, right? So basically you're most welcome to join Twitter and Telegram channel where I post majority of this stuff. Apart from that, there is a Discord room for FCP students who have gone through the FCP training. By the way, I have a slot coming in for FCP training, so if you're interested, get in touch with me on Telegram or other places. Right, so what we have is we will start with higher time frame on monthly time frame, and we can see that market is still bullish. The only thing that you have to be a little careful about is this particular gap. This gap may or may not get filled, but we have to put it in our notebook, and this is around 3,400, 3,480, around that, right? That gap is still there. So I'm not sure whether it's going to at some point in time it's going to come down and close this gap or not. But there is always a possibility. Never say no in the markets. If gold can do something like this, it can obviously correct for a few months as well. It can also go into consolidation for a few months. If I go to the weekly time frame, the market has been simply going up. Okay, and then it took a correction. Now it is trying to go back up, trying to create a return to normal sort of behavior, or sort of okay, I want to resume the previous momentum. The previous momentum was so high that after a correction it is quite natural for the market to resume the previous momentum. So the market has been bullish from this particular point, and last time this is what I posted in our Telegram channel. Right, and I've updated some of these levels. So what I was looking at this particular uh, W pattern, this extended W pattern, and I also gave certain levels around here. These levels were given in Telegram and also in on my Twitter. So this was what I was looking at. This was the W pattern which I gave on November 13th, and then I also gave certain levels, and one of those levels was 4237.947, and exactly from, and this was certain levels were given by our algo as well, and the market went to that level and straight from there, right, it started to correct. Why it was happening is because of the certain things, certain patterns, and certain levels which are not part of the scope of this analysis. Now what we can expect, there are certain scenarios. Remember, if you have been following my analysis, I create scenarios, so you do not have to predict the market. If you're a trader, all you have to do is just find the levels and the zones, and you should treat them as support and resistance. So trading is all about buying at support and selling at resistance. So in this case, for example, right, this level acted as a resistance. If I go to the smaller time frame, you will notice that this is exactly where it started to act as a resistance. So what I've done is I've found certain levels which can act as support and resistances. All you have to do is just go there on a smaller time frame. because these levels and zones that I found are higher time frame levels. These are high probability higher time frame levels and zones. All you have to do is just go to the small time frame around those areas when the market reaches those levels and look for the confirmation. In FCP methodology, we have 5 confirmation techniques, but you can use your own if you want to. What envisage is one of them. Now, what can we expect? For that, let's go to the daily time frame once again and see what is happening. So as we can clearly see, the market has been bullish here and it fell down and then it created this W pattern, and because when W pattern completes the market falls, it did. Now, if it continues to fall, right, let's look at the bullish bearish scenarios first. If it continues to fall, obviously this level here, the previous low here, right? Let me actually put a line so that you understand what I'm talking about. So this level is going to be very interesting because this is going to be a game changer here. If the market goes below this and performs a retest or gives us some kind of confirmation here to the downside, what we can expect is something like this. The market may continue to fall further down and it can create an M pattern. And when M pattern completes, the market can go up. So there are certain levels which I will update later on in our Telegram channel and other places. And by the way, I also do premium analysis. So if you want some kind of like an in-depth analysis done on any of the markets that of your choice, you can contact me and I can provide that to you. So this is the M pattern that can actually give us a short opportunity, and once the M pattern completes, the market can go up. And remember the gap that I was talking about. So if the market goes ups and downs and whatever, right? And if it continues to fall, it can come all the way down to this level as well, which is around 3,480 or so, and it can close that gap up. So this is the bearish scenario that can have. Now, obviously, the market is not going to go straight in line, right? It will not fall like this. It will not do this because it will also follow ups and downs. There may be there may be a consolidation period here as well and then break out to the downside. So beware that you can anticipate anything, but you'll have to trade what you see. Okay, you can create scenarios based on the possibilities, but one of the possibility will definitely play out, and what you do is when that plus possibility is playing out, you trade on that. So this is what we do. Now on the bullish side of things, what we can see is that the market is also creating something like this. This is a kind of W information. Now, if the market picks up the momentum and goes above the midpoint, right? If the market picks up the momentum and goes above the midpoint, it can create a W pattern. So this W pattern can bring us back to the near all-time high around one of these levels. I will post this chart in Telegram channel. So if you join there, you will be able to see these levels, and I'll update them later on if the market changes structure. And if the market continues to even go higher, it can create an extended W pattern. Extended W pattern looks like this. So it can still do something like this. So we have now bullish scenarios and bearish scenarios mapped. All we need to do is basically look at these levels and some fine-tuned levels. If you have premium analysis, you will get fine-tuned levels and other scenarios as well. So if you find those levels and the zones and one of the bearish or bullish scenarios is playing out, all you need to do is just play around those levels and zones. Okay, so this is what we have in terms of analysis on smaller time frame. Hope you enjoyed this analysis and found this useful. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other traders and trading communities. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good time.
Thank you for watching. Find and follow us on these social media channels.